You have to start over. No savings, no investments, just your income, and the feeling that you're already behind. Most people think the path forward is obvious. Earn more, save what's left, invest consistently. But when you look at long-term data, that approach fails more often than people expect. So if you had to start from zero today, what actually works in practice? This is what the research suggests you should do, step by step. Most people follow the same instinctive sequence: earn more, save what's left, invest when ready. The problem is that save what's left rarely leaves anything. Discretionary spending expands to fill available income. This is documented consistently across consumer expenditure research. The sequence has to be inverted. You save first. You spend what remains. I find this failure pattern striking because it is so universal. It is not a discipline problem, it is a sequencing problem. The fix is not motivation, it is architecture. The research on long-term wealth accumulation from zero consistently points to the same order: foundation first, debt elimination second, investment third. Automation at every stage. Each phase has a specific trigger that tells you when to move to the next one. Here is what that looks like in practice. Most people try to build wealth immediately. That is not where the data starts. Phase 1 is about building the conditions under which wealth building becomes possible. 3 foundations, in this order. The first foundation is a starter emergency fund, $1,000 to $2,000. Not the full 3 to 6 months, just enough to prevent a disruption from becoming a crisis. Without it, an unexpected $500 expense forces high-interest debt. That debt restarts the cycle before the system has a chance to work. The Federal Reserve's Survey of Household Economics and Decision-Making shows that roughly 30% of U.S. adults cannot cover 3 months of expenses by any means. When disruption hits that 30%, the forced choices are high-interest borrowing or premature retirement account withdrawals. That is not a small difference. Vanguard research shows that clients with at least $2,000 in savings report significantly lower financial stress than those without. $1,000 to $2,000 is not a luxury. It is the line between a disruption and a crisis. The second foundation is capturing the full employer match on any retirement account the employer offers. This is the only guaranteed immediate return on investment available to most workers. If your employer matches 50 cents for every dollar up to 6% of salary, not contributing to that threshold is declining free compensation. The research on retirement savings sequencing is unanimous. Employer match capture comes before any other investment priority, including debt elimination beyond minimum payments. The third foundation is automating both the emergency fund contribution and the retirement contribution before month 1 begins. Not planning to do it, automating it. The Vanguard data on auto-enrollment shows that automated savers consistently accumulate 20 to 30% more than manual savers over a 3-year period. The mechanism removes the monthly decision, and the monthly decision is where most people fail. The Vanguard 2025 data is unambiguous. Participants in auto-enrollment plans save 65% more than those in voluntary plans. After 10 years, the median account balance of auto-enrolled participants is 60% higher. That is not a marginal advantage. It is the compounding result of removing one monthly decision permanently. This is where most people underestimate the system. Phase 1 trigger, starter fund in place, employer match captured. Phase 2 begins. The priority shifts to high-interest debt, and the research on how to eliminate it is more nuanced than most advice acknowledges. The avalanche method pays highest interest rate debt first. Mathematically optimal, it minimizes total interest paid. The snowball method pays smallest balance first. Behaviorally optimal, it generates early wins that improve completion rates. These are different outcomes. The research is clear on both. Research in the Journal of Marketing Research quantified the trade-off. The snowball costs 1.8 to 4.3% more in total interest over the life of the debt. For most households, that is measurable but not catastrophic, and it is outweighed by the completion advantage if the alternative is abandoning the plan entirely. This is where the system breaks for most people, not from choosing the wrong method, but from quitting the right one. The research-backed decision rule is this: if the difference in interest rates between your highest rate and lowest balance debt is significant, more than 5 percentage points, the avalanche saves enough money to justify the behavioral cost. If the rates are similar, the snowball's completion advantage makes it the stronger choice. The best debt elimination strategy is the one you will actually finish. This is the finding I keep returning to when I think about personal finance advice in general. The mathematically optimal answer and the behaviorally optimal answer are often different. And for most people, the behavioral answer produces better real-world outcomes. Whichever method you choose, automate the extra payment. Not a variable amount based on what's left. A fixed extra payment on a fixed date every month. This is the difference between a debt elimination plan and a debt elimination system. Plans fail. Systems run. Phase 2 trigger. High interest debt eliminated. Phase 3 begins. The question shifts from debt elimination to wealth accumulation. And sequence still matters. Now it determines how much of your growth you keep versus how much the tax system captures. The research-backed investment sequencing follows 3 levels. First, maximize the employer match, already established in Phase 1. Second, maximize tax-advantaged accounts, 401k contributions beyond the match threshold, then IRA contributions. Third, taxable investment accounts once tax-advantaged space is fully utilized. This sequence maximizes after-tax wealth accumulation over time by sheltering growth from taxation for as long as possible. The compounding advantage of tax-advantaged accounts over taxable accounts is not marginal over long periods. When investment growth is sheltered from annual taxation, as in a traditional 401k or a Roth IRA, the compounding base grows faster. Over 20 or 30 years, this difference becomes significant. The sequence matters precisely because it determines how much of your growth the tax system captures versus how much stays in your portfolio. The Roth versus traditional decision within tax-advantaged accounts comes down to a single variable: whether your tax rate in retirement will be higher or lower than your current rate. If you expect to be in a higher bracket in retirement, common for younger, lower-income earners, the Roth's tax-free growth wins. If you expect a lower bracket in retirement, more common for peak earners, the traditional's upfront deduction wins. The data does not give a universal answer. It gives a framework for your specific situation. As with every other component of this system, automation is the mechanism. Set a fixed monthly investment contribution to your chosen account. Automate it on payday. The decision about whether to invest this month never enters your awareness. The system runs while you work. The 3 phases have a common thread. Every component works better when automated. And the research on why automation outperforms manual decision-making in personal finance has a consistent explanation. Present bias, lifestyle inflation, analysis paralysis, overconfidence. The cognitive biases that derail financial progress operate at the moment of decision. Automation removes that moment. When the emergency fund contribution, the retirement contribution, and the debt extra payment all happen automatically on payday, none of them compete with present moment spending impulses. The system architecture eliminates the failure point. The complete system looks like this. Your pay arrives. Before you see it in your spending account, automated transfers move money to your emergency fund, your retirement account, and your debt extra payment. What remains in your checking account is your spending money for the month. You did not make 4 financial decisions this month. You made them once when you set up the system, and then the system ran. When I look at the research on high net worth household behavior, this architecture appears consistently. The decisions were made once. Everything else was automated. That is the actual system behind the wealth. Not exceptional discipline, not unusual intelligence, not secret knowledge. Architecture. Starting from zero does not require heroic effort. It requires building a system where the right financial behaviors happen by default, and then getting out of your own way. To close, the 3-phase system the research supports for building from zero. Phase 1. Establish a starter emergency fund of $1,000 to $2,000. Capture the full employer match. Automate both before month 1 begins. These are the conditions that make everything else possible. Phase 2. Eliminate high-interest debt using whichever method behavioral research suggests fits your situation. Fixed extra payment, automated, every month. The best method is the one you complete. Phase 3. Invest in sequence. Tax-advantaged accounts before taxable. Automation at every stage. The sequence determines how much of your growth you keep. Starting from zero is not a motivation problem. The data does not support that framing. It is a system problem. Get the sequence right. Automate the behaviors. Remove the decisions from the moment of temptation, and the outcome becomes predictable. Which phase are you currently in? Foundation, debt elimination, or investment? Comment below. I want to map where the Finance Deciphered audience is in the process and build follow-up content for each stage.